She fined me for everything, my lights, my fence, even my coffee mug color. But when the HOA president tried to destroy my home, she forgot one thing. I built it stronger than her entire empire. And by the time I was done, her little kingdom was ashes. They say power doesn't change people, it reveals them. For Connie Rettel, power revealed something ugly. When I moved into Cedar Pines, I wasn't chasing luxury. I wanted silence, a place where the air smelled like pine instead of gasoline, where the only sound at night was the wind brushing the trees. After 10 years in the city, I'd saved every spare dollar to build my cabin here. The realtor had promised friendly neighbors and a peaceful community. He wasn't lying, at least, not about the trees. But he never mentioned Connie Rettel. I still remember the first sunrise in my new home, coffee steaming in my hands, sunlight spilling across the deck. Back then, I thought the hardest work was behind me. I had no idea that the real construction project would be rebuilding my sanity, after Connie was through with me. It started on day 3. A knock, 3 sharp taps, like a judge calling order. I opened the door to a woman who looked like she'd stepped out of a real estate brochure, pressed beige suit, matching heels, clipboard clutched like a weapon. "Good morning, Mr. Tillman," she chirped. Her smile was wide but cold, the kind that doesn't reach the eyes. She handed me a folder. Inside, "Welcome to Cedar Pines Homeowners Association." And then, a list, page after page of rules. No unapproved exterior lighting. No vehicles larger than a sedan parked overnight. Mailboxes must be uniform black. I chuckled, thinking it was satire. She didn't laugh. When I asked if she was serious, she replied, "We maintain standards here, Mr. Tillman. Order keeps our property values high." That word, order, stuck with me. She used it like a badge of honor. Later, I'd realize it was her favorite disguise for control. At first, I tried to play along. Painted the mailbox. Trimmed the hedge exactly 6 inches from the sidewalk. But the letters kept coming. Noise complaint. Improper firewood storage. Generator use after hours. Each notice arrived in an envelope with the same perfumed paper, same signature, Connie Rettel, HOA president. I started keeping them in a drawer. By month's end, that drawer was full. Garrett Rettel, her husband, wasn't any better. He had a habit of staring too long when he drove by, like he was taking mental notes for his wife's next crusade. One rainy evening, I caught their SUV idling across the street. Headlights off. Engine humming. They sat there for almost 10 minutes. The next morning, another letter. Unapproved shed under construction, immediate removal required. Only, there was no shed. Not yet. That's when I realized they were inventing reasons. Weeks passed, and the tension thickened. Neighbors started avoiding eye contact when Connie's name came up. Everyone feared the clipboard. Then came the night I truly saw her for what she was. It was late, maybe 11:30 p.m. A silver SUV crawled past my property, headlights dimmed. Through the slats of my porch railing, I saw Connie's silhouette, hands on the wheel, phone raised, snapping photos. She thought no one was watching. I stepped quietly onto the gravel, lifted my phone, and recorded her. The next morning, taped to my door, unauthorized lighting installation, $250 fine. She'd photographed my string lights, a few soft bulbs hanging over the porch. I called her. Those lights came with county approval. Her tone dripped with fake sympathy. "Marcus, you'll learn how we do things here." We. Not the community. We, meaning her. That was the moment the fight officially began. I built the shed a week later, partly because I needed the storage, partly because I knew it would drive her mad. Sure enough, 3 days in, she was standing at my fence, hands on hips. "This structure is in violation," she declared. I walked over calmly, permits in hand. "Not according to county zoning." She scanned the papers, her jaw tightening. "That may be true, but it disrupts our neighborhood aesthetic." There it was again, that word, aesthetic. It was her weaponized excuse for bullying. After that, I began to document everything. Time-stamped photos, recordings, every email she sent. Because something in my gut told me she'd cross a line soon. And she did. A retired veteran down the street, Mr. Havers, told me Connie fined him $500 for having an American flag too large for regulation. A single mom was forced to remove her kid's swing set because it was not HOA approved. It wasn't about maintaining standards. It was about crushing independence. By now, even Garrett had started patrolling in the evenings, flashlight in hand, peering over fences like a security guard. They were building a private kingdom, and everyone was too afraid to stand up to them. Except me. By the start of spring, I had a plan, quiet, calculated, and perfectly legal. Connie thought she owned Cedar Pines. I was going to show her who really did. See, every HOA has one weakness: transparency laws. Turns out, Connie had been forgetting to share financial reports with the community for over a year. I dug deeper. County archives, public filings, even old meeting minutes she thought no one read. Buried inside was a gem: Connie Reddle had been approving reimbursements to herself and her husband for neighborhood maintenance. Except, there was no maintenance. While she was busy finding people for uncut grass, she was funneling HOA money into her own pocket. I didn't tell anyone. Not yet. I needed proof and patience. It began with an invitation. I printed flyers: community meeting, free barbecue at Marcus Tillman's cabin. Everyone was welcome. Even Connie. Of course, she came. Clipboard and all. Marcus, she smiled tightly, you didn't file an event notice. Didn't know I needed permission to grill burgers, I said, flipping a patty. One by one, neighbors showed up. People I'd barely seen outside in months. Turns out, everyone had their own Connie story, their own pile of letters and fines. We shared them aloud, laughing, venting, connecting. And all the while, I recorded the conversation with my security cameras. Then, right on cue, Connie snapped. This entire gathering violates HOA Code 7B, she shouted. Someone in the back muttered, you made that rule up. Laughter broke out. For the first time, her authority cracked. I caught that look in her eyes: panic. She could feel her control slipping. That night, she filed 10 complaints against me in one go. But by then, the trap was already set. 2 days later, I requested a full HOA record audit and copied every homeowner in Cedar Pines. By law, she had to comply within 10 days. She didn't. So I filed a public complaint with the county. The following week, a letter arrived from the auditor's office confirming irregularities in HOA spending. Almost $18,000 unaccounted for. Guess whose names were on the checks? Connie and Garrett Reddle. The news spread through the community like wildfire. Her morning jog turned into a walk of shame. People she used to command now avoided her. When I passed her on the road, she tried to glare, but I smiled instead. That smile, calm, knowing, was the first real win I'd had in months. But she wasn't done yet. She had one last move left. The next HOA meeting was standing room only. Neighbors packed the small hall, whispering, glaring, waiting. Connie tried to open the meeting as usual, let's maintain decorum, but someone interrupted, where's the money, Connie? Then another, you owe us answers. I stepped forward, holding up a folder. These are copies of the reimbursement checks, along with her signature. Gasps filled the room. Her face turned ghost white. Garrett shifted uncomfortably beside her. She tried to deny it, these are fabricated, but I played the recording from the auditor confirming the transactions. Silence. Then applause. It started slow, hesitant, then rolled through the room like thunder. That was the night she resigned. Not out of grace, out of survival. Weeks later, I stood on my porch again, coffee in hand, sunlight spilling across the deck just like that first morning. Except now, Cedar Pines felt alive. Neighbors waved as they passed. Kids' laughter echoed through yards again. Flags flew. Lights glowed. Freedom returned. As for Connie, she and Garrett sold their house quietly and moved away. Rumor had it, they joined another HOA in a nearby town. I almost felt sorry for them. Almost. When I finally opened that drawer full of her old letters, I didn't feel anger anymore. Just relief. I kept one envelope, the very first. The one that started it all. A reminder that peace isn't something you find, it's something you build. And sometimes, to build it, you have to tear down the walls of someone else's control.